Then we get to Mission Impossible. The box office was right in the middle. The return on budget was way, way down because this Mission Impossible movie, Final Reckoning, cost a boatload of money. People talk about it had a budget of $400 million. I've heard it was way more than that. And whether somebody should look, I think God bless Tom Cruise and everything he's doing with the Mission Impossible franchise, and God bless Chris McQuarrie. But when you get to that kind of budget level, there's no way. If you can't return money to the studio, and there's no reason to believe if you spend $500 million on a Mission Impossible movie, you're never going to get that money back. And there's no reason, in my mind, to be an effective producer. You do have to take into consideration the studio that's releasing your movie and that's putting up the budget. I think an intelligent producer or any producer worth their salt understands the assignment. I mean, this is not the early 90s at Silver Pictures. If you're going to renovate your Frank Lloyd Wright house, you can't go chasing snow like with Die Hard 2 and expect people to keep paying for your whatever you need to be paid for. You can't keep doing that. So it's important to keep those budgets down and be mindful of the return to your studio. And also, I would say this. I mean, I've only ever really been an independent producer or somebody who's worked at a lower budget level. The biggest movie I was involved with as a producer was Agent Cody Banks, and that was in the low 20 millions, believe it or not. And if they'd listened to us, we could have turned that into a very viable franchise. But what we wanted to make was Ferris Bueller meets James Bond, and they decided to turn it into a tween movie, which, God bless them, but it certainly did not become the Back to the Future-esque franchise that we were hoping. But hey, what can you do? I'm the only single card credited producer in the main titles, which come at the end of Agent Cody Banks. Madonna shares her title. That's right. She's a producer of Agent Cody Banks. Jason Alexander shares his title. All the executive producers. But the Bobster here, my name is emblazoned across the screen, Robert Meyer Burnett, and I negotiated. I didn't get that because that's what I deserved. So, the grosses for Tom Cruise's possibly concluding chapter as death-defying super spy Ethan Hunt were on par with the franchise, but the gargantuan $400 million budget leaves the Final Reckoning deep in the red, and with unanswerable questions about how the franchise can move forward, dampening all of its scores. The greatest strength is Tom running, but what happens when Tom can't run anymore, says one screenwriter. That franchise is suffering from a generational divide, says a top exec. It was an older skewing audience, adds a marketing exec. It's tough when you have a franchise hung on a single actor. I'm just not sure how much equity there is left in that. Indeed, a Cruise-free mission seems like a non-starter. He is the franchise, says another top exec. Remember when they put Jeremy Renner in a Bourne movie? You do remember that, don't you? Which, by the way, I actually kind of liked, just because I think Jeremy Renner can make something work no matter what it is. So here we go. The most recent when Cortez went to the New World, he burned his ships. The Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, the domestic performance is up 16.4%, but that's not saying much when your movie costs that much. The global performance was actually down 2.1%. And the budget improvement was down 50% because of how expensive the movie is. You don't want that to be a part of what you're doing. Not so great.